Aging isn't the end. It's a new chapter, and for many, turning 70 feels like crossing an invisible line into old age, a label that has long carried unnecessary weight, but this view is rapidly changing. Today, reaching 70 isn't about slowing down or stepping aside. It's about stepping into a stage of life that can be just as meaningful, rich, and vital as any other. In fact, for many people, life after 70 can be a time of clarity, connection, purpose, and even physical renewal, especially when you know what signs to watch for in your body that hint at how much longer and better your life might be. We've all heard the saying, age is just a number, but science is now showing us how true that really is. It turns out chronological age, your actual number of years on this planet, isn't always the best predictor of how much longer you'll live. What really matters is your biological age, which is a reflection of how well your body is functioning. That's why two people at age 70 can look and feel completely different. One might be climbing mountains and volunteering at community centers, while another struggles to get out of bed or suffers from chronic fatigue. Phew, the difference isn't just luck or genes. It often comes down to lifestyle, mindset, and a few powerful physical indicators. And one of the most surprising of those indicators is something incredibly simple: your walking speed. Yes, how fast you walk. It might sound strange, but researchers around the world have been studying this, and the results are surprisingly consistent. Walking speed in older adults, especially after the age of 70, is closely linked to life expectancy. The faster your usual pace, the more likely it is that you'll live longer and with more independence and vitality. That makes your walking speed one of the clearest signs your body gives you about your health and longevity. Think about what goes into walking at a steady, brisk pace. It's not just your legs. It's your heart, lungs, brain, muscles, joints, and nervous system all working in harmony. It reflects coordination, strength, energy, and even confidence. And those are exactly the systems that tend to decline with age, unless they're actively maintained. So if you can still walk quickly and comfortably in your 70s, it's often a sign that your body is aging more slowly than the calendar says. This brings us to an even more exciting point. Your walking speed isn't fixed. It can improve with the right care. Strength training, especially for your legs and core, can make a big difference. Regular aerobic activity, like walking, swimming, or cycling, improves heart and lung function. Flexibility exercises like yoga or Tai Chi help maintain your balance and coordination. And of course, staying mentally engaged, reading, learning, socializing, keeps your brain sharp, which is also essential to coordinated movement. But beyond the physical side, walking speed can also reveal something deeper: your mindset and motivation. When someone walks with purpose, with energy, it often reflects a life that still has direction. People who are engaged, curious, and hopeful tend to move with more vitality. They have somewhere to be, something to do, people to see. And that sense of purpose, what researchers call a psychological well-being, is itself strongly linked to longer life. So, while walking speed might seem like a purely physical sign, it actually reflects a beautiful mix of both body and mind. It tells us not only how strong you are, but also how connected you are to life. That's what makes it such a powerful and telling signal. And best of all, it's something you can pay attention to today. You don't need a doctor's visit or a blood test. Just take a walk and notice how you feel, how steady your steps are, how fast you naturally go. That small detail might be giving you big information about your future. Of course, the real message here isn't just about walking, it's about listening to your body. Paying attention to the signs it gives you instead of brushing them off as just getting older. Because the truth is, aging isn't a switch that flips. It's a process that unfolds. And you have a say in how it unfolds. Each decision you make, each step you take, contributes to the quality of your life in the years to come. We live in a world that is finally beginning to appreciate the value and wisdom of older adults. People in their 70s and beyond are leading businesses, mentoring younger generations, writing books, traveling, falling in love, starting new hobbies, and making an impact in their communities. There is no reason to believe that life has to shrink after 70. In fact, for many people, it expands. But to make the most of those years, you have to start by tuning in. Pay attention to how you feel, how you move, how you think. Watch for signs that tell you how your body is really doing. Not just what age you are, but what shape you're in and what kind of future you're building with the choices you make now. And among all those signs, if there's one simple, powerful clue you can start with today, it's your walking speed. So, as you move into this new chapter of life, know that you're not at the end. You're at the edge of something meaningful, something still full of potential. How fast you walk may tell you how long you'll live, but it can also remind you of something more important. You're still moving forward. And that alone is a beautiful thing. There are a lot of things people look at when they wonder how long they might live. Blood pressure, cholesterol, family, history, even the number of candles on a birthday cake. Phew. But there's one unexpected, yet remarkably powerful, sign that speaks louder than most. Your walking speed. It's simple, it's visible, and yet it can tell you more about your body's overall health and your future longevity than many standard medical tests. That's the surprising truth that more and more researchers are uncovering. How fast you walk after 70 is one of the clearest signs of how well your body is functioning and just how many good years you might still have ahead of you. It's easy to overlook. We walk every day, into the kitchen, to the mailbox across the street. Most of us don't think about how we walk unless we're in pain, but walking speed isn't just about convenience. It's a kind of silent language your body uses to talk to you. And it's speaking volumes, where after 70, walking becomes more than just a way to get around. It becomes a mirror of your strength, coordination, balance, heart health, brain function, and even emotional resilience. In fact, in multiple studies across different countries and age groups, scientists found that older adults who walk faster tend to live longer than those who walk slowly, sometimes by several years, because it depends on almost every system in your body working together. Think about what happens when you take a step. Your brain has to plan the movement. Your nervous system has to fire the right signals. Your muscles need strength. Your joints and bones need to support you. Your heart and lungs have to supply energy, and your sense of balance has to keep you upright and steady. If even one of these systems is under stress or beginning to decline, it can show up in your walk. You might not even notice it right away, but your pace can begin to slow. Your stride might shorten, or you might hesitate just a little more than you used to. All of those subtle changes can reflect larger shifts inside your body. It's not just about raw speed either. It's about the quality of your walk. Is it smooth? Are your steps confident? Can you walk without needing to stop and rest? These questions are just as important. A confident walking pace often reflects good physical conditioning, but it also signals something else: independence. The ability to move around freely without help is deeply tied to how long and how well people live in their later years. Once that independence begins to slip, it tends to lead to a cascade of other health challenges. Less physical activity, more isolation, reduced cognitive stimulation, and greater risk of falls. That's why doctors and geriatric specialists are starting to use walking speed as a quick, non-invasive way to assess a person's biological age. In some cases, your gait speed might tell more about your life expectancy than your blood pressure or your weight. In fact, researchers have even coined a phrase for it: the sixth vital sign. It's that important. But here's where it gets truly encouraging. Walking speed isn't set in stone. It's not a number you're stuck with. You can improve it, and by doing so, you may be extending both the length and quality of your life. How? By focusing on strength, balance, and overall movement, regular physical activity, especially walking. Resistance exercises and flexibility routines can dramatically boost your walking speed. Even 20-30 minutes a day of brisk walking has been shown to make a noticeable difference. improving balance through things like Tai Chi, yoga, or even standing on one foot while brushing your teeth helps keep you steady and sharp. And strength training, especially in the legs and core, helps keep your body strong and stable. All of these changes add up. Over time, they lead to smoother, faster, and more confident movement. And that, in turn, sends a strong message to your body. You're still active, still strong, still very much alive. There's also a mental side to walking that can't be ignored. People who walk with energy and purpose tend to feel more optimistic and more engaged with life. Walking speed doesn't just reflect physical fitness. It can also reflect mental clarity, emotional drive, and a sense of motivation. People who still move quickly through the world often have a sense of meaning, of things left to do, people to see, goals to pursue. That spark, that forward motion, seems to echo through the body. So, what does this mean for someone over 70? It means you can take control. You can pay attention to this simple sign. It means that when you take a walk, whether it's around your home, your neighborhood, or a nearby park, you're not just passing time, you're checking in on your future. Every step, every stride is feedback. And if you find your pace slowing, don't ignore it. See it as a signal to respond to. Not with fear, but with action. That might mean walking a little more each day. It might mean doing balance exercises or joining a fitness class for older adults. It might mean seeing a physical therapist or asking your doctor for a fitness evaluation. Whatever the step, the key is to take it. Because this one sign, your walking speed, could be the clearest, most practical indicator of how much life you still have ahead of you and how good that life will feel. The beauty of this insight is that it's simple, accessible, and empowering. You don't need expensive equipment or medical tests to measure it. You just need a watch, a stretch of hallway or sidewalk, and a little curiosity. And what you learn from that simple act could inspire a whole new approach to aging. Put strength, movement, and engagement at the center of your health journey. So next time you go for a walk, notice your pace, feel your steps. And remember, your walking speed isn't just about getting from point A to point B. It's your body talking to you, telling you how well it's working and how much potential you still have. Listen to that message. It just might change the way you live the rest of your life. When we think about health and longevity, certain numbers immediately come to mind: blood pressure, cholesterol levels, heart rate, and blood sugar. These are the traditional markers we've been taught to watch. You can train it, strengthen it, rebuild it, sometimes even reverse years of decline. Simple daily walks, especially at a moderate or brisk pace, have been shown to improve cardiovascular health, boost mood, and increase lifespan. Adding in resistance exercises, things like light weights or body weight squats, helps improve leg strength, which supports a stronger gait. Balance exercises help prevent falls. Stretching and mobility work help maintain stride length and reduce stiffness. Improving your walking speed isn't about running marathons. It's about maintaining your independence. It's about keeping your freedom to move where you want, when you want. That kind of autonomy is directly linked to quality of life. People who can move freely are more likely to stay engaged with their communities, stay socially active, and avoid the slippery slope of isolation and physical decline. They're also more likely to catch and manage other health problems earlier because they're still active participants in their own lives. There's also a psychological dimension here. Walking with energy and purpose signals vitality. It shows a person still has goals, still has places to go, still has a life they're invested in living. That mindset matters. Optimism and engagement are powerful protective factors as we age. They boost the immune system, reduce stress, and promote better outcomes across almost every area of health. Walking speed reflects that kind of momentum, not just physical, but emotional and mental as well. Of course, we still need to keep an eye on blood pressure. Well, it's one piece of the puzzle, but we shouldn't let that one number dominate our view of health. Health is more than what the machines say. It's about how you move, how you feel, how you function. That's why walking speed matters more, because it reflects the full picture. It's what you do when no one's measuring, when you're just living your life. So instead of only asking, "What's your blood pressure?" Maybe we should also be asking, "How fast do you walk?" That question might tell us more than we think about your body, your independence, and your future. Because every step you take is more than movement. It's a message. It's your body's way of showing you how well it's doing. And listening to that message could be the smartest, simplest way to protect your health as you age. And so, when it comes to signs that speak volumes, don't just look at the numbers in a chart. Watch how you walk. It might be the clearest sign of all. When we talk about longevity, especially life after 70, the conversation often turns to exercise. We hear about walking more, lifting weights, staying active. And yes, movement matters. It helps the heart, strengthens the muscles, supports the joints, and maintains coordination. But if we stop the conversation there, we miss something essential. Because the real secret to living longer and living better isn't just about physical movement. It's about what fuels that movement. It's about energy. It's about purpose. And that is something far deeper than any gym routine. Walking speed, as we've already seen, is a strong sign of how well you're aging. But what gives someone the drive to walk quickly in the first place? Why do some people move with enthusiasm and intention, while others seem to slow down not just in body, but in spirit? The answer often lies not in the legs or the lungs, but in something much less tangible: their reason for moving, their sense of purpose, their connection to something meaningful. It turns out that people who live longer don't just exercise more, they live with more drive. Studies from around the world, including the famed blue zone system, where people often live past 90 and even 100, consistently show that having a sense of purpose is a key factor in longevity. In Okinawa, Japan, the word ichigai is used to describe one's reason for getting up in the morning. You have to ask what's driving you, what fills your days with meaning, what brings life to your steps. Because when your movement comes from a place of purpose, it carries a kind of power that no treadmill can replicate. At the end of the day, walking speed may predict how long you live, but purpose predicts how well you'll live. And when those two things come together, when movement is powered by meaning, you don't just add years to your life. You add life to your years. If walking speed is one of the clearest signs of how well we're aging, and how long we're likely to live after 70, then it naturally leads to one big question. Can we actually improve it? The answer is yes, absolutely. And not only can we improve it, but in doing so, we may also be improving every system in our body that supports a longer, stronger, and more independent life. This isn't about turning back the clock or chasing youth. It's about strengthening what's already here, about building a body and mind that are resilient and ready to carry you forward with confidence. First, let's look at why walking speed slows down in the first place. Over time, muscles weaken, joints stiffen, balance can become shakier, and the brain-to-body communication that once happened automatically may need a bit more effort. These changes are normal, but they're not unchangeable. Just like a muscle can grow stronger with resistance, your walking pace can become faster and more stable with the right care. And the best part is, you don't need fancy equipment or intense routines to do it. You need consistency, the right kind of movement, and most of all, intention. Start with strength. At the core of walking speed is leg strength, especially in the thighs, hips, and calves. These are the muscles that propel you forward. When they weaken, your stride shortens and your steps become slower and less confident. You can combat this with simple exercises like chair squats, step-ups, heel raises, or resistance band training. Even just standing up and sitting down repeatedly from a chair without using your hands can be a powerful tool to maintain and build strength in your legs. The more strength you have, the easier it is to walk with energy and stability. Next, think about balance. One of the reasons people slow down as they age is because they become more cautious. They're afraid of falling, and for good reason. Falls are one of the leading causes of injury in older adults. But avoiding movement only increases the risk. Improving balance, on the other hand, builds the confidence to move freely. Simple balance exercises like standing on one foot, walking heel to toe in a straight line, or practicing slow, controlled movements like those in Tai Chi can dramatically increase your stability. And with better balance comes a more natural, steady pace. Flexibility and mobility are also key. Tight hips, stiff ankles, or a rigid spine can all interrupt your walking rhythm. Incorporating daily stretching or gentle yoga can loosen those joints and help restore your natural stride. Focus on the hip flexors, hamstrings, calves, and lower back. Even a few minutes a day of gentle movement can open up space in your body, reduce discomfort, and allow your steps to become more fluid. Then there's cardio health. Your heart and lungs are the engines behind your walking speed. The more efficiently they work, the easier it is to sustain a brisk pace without fatigue. That's where regular aerobic activity comes in. Walking itself is a great option. Start where you are. Maybe it's 10 minutes around the block or through a park. Gradually increase your time and pace as your stamina improves. Other excellent choices include cycling, swimming, dancing, anything that gets your heart rate up and keeps your body moving rhythmically. Here's something that often gets overlooked: your brain. Walking is not just a physical act. It's a coordinated effort between your brain and body. Reaction time, memory, and attention all play a role in how smoothly and quickly you move. That means staying mentally sharp is just as important as physical training. Read, learn something new, do puzzles, engage in conversations, play games, stay curious. Stay curious. So, the more active your brain is, the more confidently it can guide your body. Sleep also plays a surprising role. Poor sleep can lead to daytime fatigue, slower reaction time, and lower energy, all of which impact walking speed. Creating good sleep habits, going to bed at the same time, limiting screens before bed, creating a quiet, dark sleep environment can support better physical performance the next day. And the better you move, the more likely you are to sleep well. Salute a powerful cycle. Then there's nutrition. The fuel you put into your body directly affects how you move. Protein helps build and repair muscle. Omega-3 fatty acids support brain health. Vitamins like D and B12 support nerve and B1 function. Hydration keeps your joints lubricated and your energy up. Eating well isn't about restriction. It's about giving your body the tools it needs to perform, heal, and grow stronger. Social connection matters too. People who are engaged with others tend to be more active, both physically and emotionally. They go for walks with friends, join community events, and participate in group activities, all of which naturally support movement and improve walking speed. Plus, connection reduces stress and boosts mood, both of which have ripple effects on your overall health. And let's not forget joy. Doing things you love brings energy, whether it's dancing to your favorite music, gardening, playing with grandchildren, or just exploring a new path on your walk. Enjoyment is a powerful motivator. When you move because it makes you happy, movement because it makes you happy, movement becomes a gift. The beauty of all this is that it's not about massive changes. It's about small, steady shifts. A short daily walk, a few minutes of stretching, a commitment to eating better, sleeping better, and connecting more. These things compound over time. They create a life where you not only walk faster, but live better. And yes, the pace at which you walk might predict your future, but you can shape that future. If you can shape that future, it's not just about responding to them with action, with care. With the belief that even after 70, your best steps might still be ahead of you. Because every effort you make to strengthen your walk is really an effort to strengthen your life. Aging often comes with a narrative that we don't choose. One written for us by society, media, even well-meaning friends and family. It's a story filled with decline, limitation, and loss. You reach a certain age, especially after 70, and suddenly people expect you to slow down, do less, expect less, and prepare for life to shrink. But that story misses something powerful. It overlooks what you can still influence, what you can still build, and just how much control you actually have over your future. Because even though we can't control every detail of aging, we can control how we respond to it. And more often than not, that response becomes the difference between merely existing and truly living. One of the most hopeful messages about growing older is that your body is still listening. It still responds to how you treat it, even after decades of wear and tear. The science of longevity has shown this again and again. Whether you're 40, 70, or 90, small changes can still bring meaningful results. If you start walking more regularly, your muscles strengthen. If you eat better, your energy improves. If you begin working on balance, you reduce your risk of falls. If you reconnect socially, your mood lifts. These are not just short-term wins. They're building blocks for a longer, better life. We now know that your walking speed, for example, a simple, visible sign, can reflect the state of your entire body. And here's what's remarkable about that. It can change. You're not stuck with a number. You're not locked into a path. If you pay attention to that one signal, if you see it as an invitation rather than a warning, you can turn it into momentum. A brisker walk isn't just about speed. It's about energy, confidence, and purpose. Those things are not reserved for the young. They are qualities you can cultivate at any age, especially when you begin to believe that the story of your life is still unfolding. There's a quiet kind of hope that comes from realizing you're not powerless. For years, we've been told that aging is out of our hands, that it's purely genetic, or that it's something to be feared or fought. But the truth is much more liberating. Your genes matter, yes, but your daily choices often matter more. What you do today, this week, this month, can shape the years ahead. And that's especially true when it comes to how you move. The speed and style with which you walk isn't just biology. It's a reflection of how engaged you are with life. People who walk with purpose tend to live with purpose. They're often the ones who are still curious, still invested in something bigger than themselves. Maybe it's family. Maybe it's creativity, learning, or simply enjoying each day to the fullest. That deeper sense of meaning fuels energy. And that energy shows up in your stride, your posture, your outlook. This is why the conversation around aging needs to shift from fear to possibility, from decline to opportunity, because what we believe about aging becomes how we experience it. If we expect our bodies to fail us, we begin to withdraw. We stop pushing ourselves. We accept fatigue or stiffness as inevitable, even when they might be reversible. But if we expect to stay strong, active, and involved, we're far more likely to take the steps that make it